The final push for Impact World Tag Team Champions, the Good Brothers, the Machine Gun Carl Anderson,
There's the Gunstone!
and the Big LG Doc Gallows
Killer!
action figures is now.
Doc Gallows, Carl Anderson.
Once the pre-order is complete, no additional figures will be made.
It's gonna be a victory for the Good Brothers!
Get your Good Brothers action figures today at Super7.com. That's Super7.com.
Sweet! Okay, people, welcome back to another Foosh Weekly. As always, I'm Robo, and I don't have much of an intro prepared today. It's been a crazy week. In fact, twice I've walked in here, tried to start recording, and I got a notification on my phone saying, hey, there's more toy news, let's go get it. But are we gonna grab about that? Hell no. It's more plastic for our shelves, more money out of our wallets. It's just an ongoing cycle. It's never gonna end. And since we started the episode with some Ultimates, might as well keep that train rolling because, and it happens every week, as soon as I posted the weekly last week, Super 7 just, hey, there's more news, you missed something. In this case, in the last episode, we talked about the Super 7 Transformers Ultimate. But we hadn't seen the figures yet, so of course, the solicitations went up an hour later. Wave 1 consists of Bonsaitron, who I understand is an Action Master, but I'm unfamiliar with those words in the context of Transformers. Still, a good-looking robot, interesting color scheme, and it shows right off the bat that Super 7 is stepping off that beaten path and giving Transformers fans something that they didn't quite expect. The description for Bombshell also says inspired by his Action Master's look, but come on, that's Bombshell. I know Insecticons. You know, the Transformer that became Cyclonus, or the other guy. Ghost of Starscream is an interesting choice. I'm sure there's reasons to not give us Starscream right off the bat. We see the mold and think, oh, that's a good looking Starscream. He's clear and sparkly, but will the line go on long enough to give us a regular Starscream? I better pick up Ghost of Starscream just in case. Oh, tricky. Finally, Optimus Prime. You can't start a new Transformers line without either having this or Megatron. It's in the rule book. I think last week I posed the question, is this the line that I hoped that Hasbro's Transformers RED line would be? And the answer is, I'm not sure yet. The solicitations do state that Bombshell and Bonsaitron are a 3/4 of an inch shorter than the other two. Fractions are hard. 3/4 of an inch is at least something. That's some size difference. And I really like the inclusion of the vintage toy heads for both Optimus and Starscream, not to mention the wacky accessories that come with Prom. But then again, I'd like to know the full articulation breakdown here. Plus, it looks like the Ultimates lines are moving to a new $55 price point. That makes me think I need to be a little bit more picky and choosy. And with that, these are scheduled to release winter of 2021. Because of previous teases, we were all expecting a Super 7 SilverHawks announcement last week, but ooh, they ran it right up to the last minute. It kept everyone on the edge of their seats. And even though there's nothing to show yet, there will be an Ultimate line. And I'll be honest, I was up to my eyeballs in cartoons during the 80s, and I somehow missed SilverHawks completely. And that goes for the action figures too. Never had a one, but like I always say, good toys are good toys. We'll see what's happening here. This week we did get the full reveal and solicitation for the Super 7 ThunderCats Ultimate Thunder Tank. Big, impressive vehicle able to hold 6 full-size ThunderCats. It's 27 inches long. It's 17 inches. Is it 17? It's pretty big wide. I can't find the number right now. It's got moving parts, rolling wheels, opening panels, but everyone's focus seemed to be on the $450 price point. And why wouldn't it be? That's a big chunk of change. But like I said last week, a small run of a big item by a small company for a small fan base. At this point, you're either going to pony up or you're going to pass by. You just got to make that decision based on your own personal situation. Me, I'm passing, simply because even though I've been buying the main characters for ThunderCats, it's not my main collection. Plus, I haven't even opened up the figures that I do have because I have no space. So, adding this big real estate monster somewhere in the display, yeah, for me, it's not happening. But you know I'll be a kid in a candy store going up to Veeb's house when this does ship, laying in the floor, pushing it around. Well, but if you're in the market for this, there are several different options. From Super 7, there's a payment plan. You go to Big Bad Toy Store, there's a non-refundable deposit. You pay for it later. You go to PayPal. You can do installments. There's options out there. So find what's best for you. Finally, at least in terms of Super 7 and you having to listen to my stupid ass, the Conan Ultimates Wave 3 Thulsa Doom has been updated with the necklace that a lot of eagle-eyed fans noticed was missing. Not a big thing, but it's cool to see the company acknowledge that and swing back around. Throw that in there. Pre-orders for Wave 3 are open for the next couple of weeks, so if you're into it, jump on it. Early in the week, Mezco 1/12 collectors caught wind of an Asia Gold exclusive Krieg the Blood Force. I think it's the Krieg overall, and then different variations have different names. This is the Blood Force. Like most original Mezco characters, there's a lot of reuse here. Most notably, the cable armor and belt. But making it all red and black spices it up a bit and makes it almost unrecognizable, along with the new head on top to set it off. It's very Sentinel from the Matrix, but you guys know my brainwaves. I looked at it and thought, oh, Mezco Forlom? What? But it wasn't until I saw this character squaring off against Baron Benz that I thought, oh, that makes sense and works fantastically. The red against the blue. That's when I realized, oh, it does have an underwater feel to it. Almost crustacean. Get to the accessories and it's just a potpourri of color. Very striking against the two-tone of the figure itself. But like I said, overseas exclusive. It was very limited. Shipping was super high to the US. And like most Rumble Society figures, it sold out Wednesday night in about 2 minutes. But then Mezco on their social announced that the Krieg were coming, but it still had the Asia Gold logo up on the top, so I thought, well, maybe they're just late announcing it by about 12 hours. Then later in the afternoon on Thursday, they showed off this animation and quickly followed that up with a picture of a black Krieg with the Mezco exclusive logo on it. So a version is coming to their site, but it being Rumble Society, I'm guessing they'll blindfold you, spin you around 3 times, and then you try to pin the tail on the URL. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, Mezco exclusives, Rumble Society, can't find them. Something that didn't sell out right off the bat this week was the Mezco 1/12 Collective Marvel Morbius, which is a good thing because seeing these final pictures, oh, they sold me on it. Even though we'd seen the basic figure at shows previously, now, in the pictures, with all the extras and seeing what you get, I gotta do it. It's beautiful. Michael's costume may seem a bit disco, which completely makes sense for this character, but it's the skin tone and the head that pop, or I should say the heads. In the few seconds it took me to decide to buy this, I realized, oh, 3 different heads? Whatever I don't use on the Mezco figure, I can upgrade my Marvel Legends figures with it. They won't go to waste. Because while those figures are definitely Morbius, I have this picture in my head of what I think of Morbius, and well, Mezco nailed it. Even the open mouth heads, which I don't usually care about unless they work into the character's power set, like Morbius showing off fangs, Black Bolt, Banshee. Oh, a Mezco Banshee would be awesome. To sweeten the pot, see that multi-layer mobile science lab? It opens up for some surprise goodies. A lot of surprise goodies. Everything Morbius needs to carry on his experiments, along with light-up features and the spin blood separator thing. I don't even know what it is. I'm still excited. All for $85, which I say like, yeah, that's how it should be, but that's pretty standard Mezco pricing when they don't integrate the light up features into the body, or comes with a lot of extras that I'm not going to use. It's nice to grab one that's not $110, $120, $150. Last I looked, it was still available for pre-order. If you missed it on the Mezco site, it's available on sites like Dorkside, and it should ship later in the year. Should. Speaking of characters based on literature, is that too much of a reach? Morbius is a vampire. Comic books are literature? Either way, here is NECA's tease for a Frankenstein, or a Frankenstein's monster. It's interesting, even though I've talked many a time about not being a horror fan, if it's a nice looking figure, black and white, cool grayscale shading, oh, I may buckle. I've always loved the look of that in plastic form when it's done well. Another tease this week came in the form of Sentinel's fighting Armor Wolverine. We'll have more pictures and information on this next week when the solicitation goes up. If you're not familiar with the line, this is a 6-inch-ish scale line of characters who look like they went to Tony Stark to deck themselves out in some specialized, specific to their character armors. Hence, fighting armor. That's the name of the line. Oh, but the teases don't stop, which isn't surprising because we're creeping into what would have been Toy Fair season. reality. Storm Collectibles posted this little sneak peek at their Tekken King. As you all know, I'm not up on my fighting games, but given the features here, even I went, oh, it's King. Should make for a kick-ass action figure. We shall see. And now, the tale of 2 Batman Beyonds. We already knew that McFarlane Toys were making 2 different variations of the DC Multiverse Batman Beyond, but this week, we get, pretty promotional pictures. The full product page for the Target exclusive Batman Futures in Jokerbot Build-A-Figure Batman Beyond went up this week. This version, besides the Build-A-Figure piece, comes with 2 Batarangs and then 2 gripping hands. Todd told us a few weeks ago that this wave would have a staggered release with Batman Beyond in April, Shriek in June, Batwoman Beyond in August, and Blight in October. But then, at nearly the same time, the pictures of the mainline Batman Beyond started floating around the internet, and it shows that it still comes with those kick-ass boot jet blast looking things and then a different Batarang. But then besides accessories, you have to decide which Terry face you like better. The standard release has facial features, nose and mouth, but the Target release has a blank, armored up look. And even though the Bathless Bats was shown earlier last year, the Target exclusive goes up for pre-order first. So I'm guessing the other one, you know, the other one or the other one. The mainline one will go up at some point here in the next. You can never tell with McFarlane. It may release next week. A few weeks ago, we talked about the Big Bad Toy Store pre-order pages for upcoming Mattel Jurassic Park Amber Collection figures, and I had rambled a bit about future releases, the rumors. Now, on top of the rumors, there's also teasy pictures adrift upon the internet. But again, remember, this is not confirmation. These may not even be real, and even if they are, it's still Mattel. So anything can happen. Keep your expectations in check. Like we discussed, there's silhouettes for Ian Malcolm version 2 and Ray Arnold. Even though the BBTS solicitation page listed Malcolm as specifically Jurassic Park, it appears this silhouette may be from Jurassic World. Then again, if you go back to Entertainment Earth's tease of Nedry in the Amber collection, he also had a hood and a stick. So again, Mattel, you just never know. There's also Grant and Muldoon. Like Ray Arnold, Muldoon can't be anything other than Jurassic Park, but Grant, like Ian, could be the Jurassic World version, and Mattel's waiting to cash in on that movie hype for, what is it called, Dominion? Take all that and then apply it to the third picture of Hammond and Sattler. And then I think we're assuming that the Velociraptor is the listed Tiger Raptor from Big Bad Toy Store, and then the T-Rex is a junior, well, a baby version. But while Big Bad listed a Pteranodon, and we even saw leaked pictures of that on the Jurassic Park wiki, here we see I'm no good with dinosaurs, Dimorphodon. These are just teases. I doubt these pictures are supposed to be in circulation, so again, we will see. Okay, once again, here is your chance to make fun of Uncle Robo for not knowing something. In this case, Halo. The closest I've ever been to Halo is the first couple of seasons of Red vs. Blue. That's it. I've always been a PlayStation guy. I can't tell the difference between all the armors once you get past Master Chief, so when Jazwares announced their next wave of the Halo collection, I know, it's just kind of like, what name goes with what picture? I even Googled, and even then I was still, what? Wave 2 will have Spartan Mark 5B, Noble 4 or Emil A239, Spartan Gungar, and Jerome 092. There's even accessory loadouts for a couple of the characters. The brand manager says that these should be on pegs sometime this month or next month, depending on the retailer, but I think I've already seen a sighting somewhere, so these may be out now. Keep your eyes open and your visor clean and your gun and your Halo round. Whatever they say in Halo. Whew, back to something I do know, even though it's a line I don't fully collect. Also from Jazwares, hot on the heels of Wave 4 being revealed just last week, here are the digital renders for the AEW Unrivaled Wave 5. For belts debuting in the line, they always seem to go to the characters who first held them in the promotion. For the tag team championships, that would be Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky. Jazwares also likes to keep those top guys in rotation. This wave, it's Jon Moxley and Hangman Adam Page. And those both also get those crazy-ass limited edition chase variants. For Moxley, it's just his look when he had his eye injury, the eye patch look. And Hangman's rare version is just more simplistic ring gear. I am super happy that the standard release has the pitcher and mug, though. That... he should have been in some Dark Order gear, though. It's It's too sad to talk about. Finishing off the wave is another team, a tag team I've been wanting since the line was first announced, and that would be 2/3 of Jurassic Express. First, we get Jungle Boy. Well, first, they come out at the same time, but Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. I'm excited about Luchasaurus. Not only is he a kick-ass wrestler, he's going to be the most colorful, the most dynamic looking of this wave. Hopefully, painted prototypes are just around the corner, but I'm guessing wait a little bit. Again, Toy Fair season. Look, Jazwares do something for that. Oh man, what to say about the Hasbro fan channel exclusive Marvel Legends Maestro. I think there was a lot of disappointment when this was revealed because people had gotten their hopes up expecting something a bit more deluxe. Maybe trophies around his feet or gear of his fallen foes and friends. Instead, Hasbro went with the more new school Maestro from the Old Man Logan universe. In fact, it's almost identical to this cover from future Imperfect Secret Wars. He even has the Rich Cracker necklace. You get hungry in a post-apocalyptic wasteland. And for $30, shouldn't have expected much more than this because other variations on this same body, which have been, well, other Hulks, have been $30 and just alternate heads, alternate hands, maybe a crushed pipe. Where are you when we need you, crushed pipe? But what may have caused those high hopes among the community was the original MSRP of $50. We saw this on several sites that Hasbro, I guess, didn't update with the new price, but then we saw it for $30 on their own Pulse site and Amazon, so there was a lot of confusion. If it had been $50, we definitely, well, I say definitely, but almost definitely would have gotten, you know, a crushed Iron Man helmet, a broken cap shield, Cyclops visor, doodads and doohickeys. But as is, it's a good companion piece for the Old Man Logan and Hawkeye 2-pack. Should come out in August. Two of my current favorite toy lines, not counting Star Wars because it's way up there, but my two almost favorite toy lines is G.I.Joe and Fortnite. So when Hasbro Pulse offered a version of Snake Eyes from his debut in Fortnite, I got excited. First of all, the Snake Eyes body is excellent. I don't blame Hasbro at all for getting their money's worth. Two, when I first saw the skin in Fortnite, I automatically fell in love with the contrasting light grays and blacks and mid-grays. It just made for a more dynamic looking figure. Don't get me wrong, I like my Snake Eyes all in black, and I like the deluxe version that has some greens and grays here, but even with the lighter colors thrown on there, it's visually interesting. But then when I jumped on to order it, oh, $40. I guess they're packaging it like the original deluxe version of Snake Eyes that we got before the Classified series started, and then the inclusion of a lot of different Fortnite weapons, as wacky and weird as they are. Speaking of the figure, it looks like they got that nice gray-black contrast on the legs, but then kind of forgot about it on the upper body. I don't play the game, but the pictures I've seen of the game, he seems to have that lighter gray on the biceps underneath the armor plates. Maybe it's hard to see because of the lighting and the angles on the Hasbro pictures, but it sure looks like it's missing. I do like how they painted the rings and studs all over the armor plates. That's a nice little extra. But maybe they can tweak it a bit before it releases in a year from now. We're creeping into Metacom territory here. I have my gripes, but it's still sold out on Pulse, so what the hell do I know? Before getting into the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series news, I wanted to jump back to last week and the Fan First Friday reveals. When I had said that the Best Buy exclusive Lucasfilm 50th Anniversary Jar Jar figure would be $10 cheaper than the deluxe version, I had recorded the weekly before the links actually went live on Best Buy. I didn't know that it was going to be the same price as the deluxe version. I assumed that they would be the same price as the Amazon exclusive Lucasfilm 50th Anniversary figures, but I was wrong. The Best Buy Mace Windu, Battle Droid, and Qui-Gon Jinn were $25, while Jar Jar is $30 for some reason. I guess to not compete with the deluxe version that's on sale at nearly the same time. The only real choice is whether you want the Retro Episode 1 card or the Gungan Shield. I'll take an extra accessory over packaging any day, even though I do dig the retro cards. If they had just changed the head a little bit, make it a smile or some kind of dumb look, I would have bought it again for $30. I would have griped and grumbled, but it's still a different looking Jar Jar for the shelf. At the same time, I would have pre-ordered Mace if they had included the blue lightsaber like the original release. But veering into non-exclusives, a lot of you pointed out that the Bad Batch Elite Squad Trooper was a mix of new Clone Trooper up top and old Clone Trooper down bottom. Down bottom. You have the single elbows with the floating armor pad. You have the butterfly shoulders, but you got double knees. Is this the standard going forward, or is this just an experiment to see how it goes? I love the new Trooper molds, but will this make it even better? Y'all quit nodding your heads just because there's extra pins down there. And finally, just this morning, Zavi leaked the upcoming Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Gaming Greats Jedi Fallen Order Cal Kestis Deluxe set. Did that the first time. I'm so proud of myself. It's about what you'd expect. The game gives you a lot of customizing options when it comes to your costume, your poncho, your lightsabers, BD1. And this set giving us all that in different colors and shapes, yeah, fits right in. In fact, I had to go back to the first figure and make sure that the body is reuse from that because the different colors throw me off. You can change things up even more with the removable hood and then swapping the lightsaber blades between the hilts. But like I said a minute ago, I'm always down for adding new knickknacks to the shelf. So besides the new look, I'm super happy that we're getting Eevee and a Pokecube. Whoa, 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 whoa! Unclench. Bring your fingers back. I know it's a Boggling and a Jedi Holocron. Just making a little funny. Cal seems to be the first deluxe figure in the Gaming Greats line, and that means it's GameStop EB Games exclusive, right? In fact, I just got a text from Veebs. And yep, it just went up on the GameStop side. I was gonna say that most deluxes are $30. It being GameStop, it's probably gonna be $35, but no, it's $29.99. And it says to ship June 1st. And that's it for this week. As far as I know, there could have been 3 new things pop up in the past hour that it took me to record this. But if there was more stuff, we'll swing back around next week. If you're interested in seeing any of these pictures up close without me all halos are round, I will be posting all of that plus links and more information on the Foosh Front page tomorrow at noon, Saturday at noon. But if you don't want to wait for that, all the links to pre-orders will be in the description of this video. I get a lot of people asking about shirts, and most of my shirts, especially if they're mashups, come from rippedapparel.com. A lot of the designs are only available for a day though, so the best thing to do is just follow them on socials. They post 3 shirts a day. I think they're 13, 14 bucks. Afterwards they go up to 20 something. So it's better to catch them the day of. But yeah, I just like t-shirts. It's almost getting as bad as toys themselves. I'm gonna start a t-shirt channel. But if you enjoyed this weekly, comment, like, subscribe. Much love to the plus. If you're interested in seeing videos early or just in a position to help out the channel, patreon.com. But wherever you may be watching this, I'll always catch you on the Foosh. Oh, and this week during Playday, I talked about getting back into customizing. Check it out. The first tubs of epoxy sculpt I've bought in 15 years. You know I'm getting serious. Hopefully, I don't talk the big talk and then suddenly life gets in the way and I don't get to do any customizing. Everybody's all, oh, I thought you were gonna do some customizing, and I'm like, I tried to do it, but you know, things get in the way. It's kind of the same excuse that I've used for the past 10 years.